Alright, this video will show you 5 things that you must give up in order to communicate with the universe now. I'm going to show you ways of doing that efficiently so that you're able to actually get what you want with the law of attraction. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that when I gave up completely changed the way that I relate to my thoughts, completely changed the way that I relate to my outer world. And this is going to be ways that you can apply to fix it so that you're able to really get what you want. Now, the first thing I want to say is something I've said in many videos, is that we always get a reflection of who we are being, and we always get a reflection of what we believe to be true. So let me ask you a question. Do you view the universe as friendly towards you? Do you view the universe as maybe out to get you, or as not really respecting or giving you what you want in your life? Maybe you view like there's always blocks, there's always stumbling blocks. Why does this always happen to me? If we ask ourselves those questions, we'll see that there's something we can do to uncover those beliefs that we have towards really getting the universe to work for us. So this has to do with thinking about it in a little bit of a new way and understanding that as we do that, we will get a completely new result. That's why the first thing that we must give up is believing that the universe is not friendly towards us, believing that we don't get what we want, or believing that we don't get what we believe to be true. Now the idea behind this is knowing that what we can do is realize that everything we believe to be true is always being reflected back to us, which means we are always supported in whatever we 100% believe to be true. We're always supported, and therefore we can then ask ourselves the question instead of, what do I believe to be true? What are my most predominant beliefs that I have? You see, as we ask ourselves that question, we then get totally different answers other than, why does this keep happening to me? Why isn't the universe giving me what we want? You see, we always get a reflection of what we are asking ourselves and what we believe to be true. Now, let me ask you the question. How do you relate to your outer world? Do things come to you easily? If they don't, what I encourage you to do is to start to develop the belief that you always get what you 100% believe to be true. And you'll find this as a direct reflection in any aspect of your life. Now this is important to understand because then we can realize that we are always 100% supported no matter what. It's just up to us and what our definitions are. If we believe that we're not supported, it's not so much that we're not supported, it means we have a belief that we're not supported and we're getting that support in our life. We're getting that reflection in our life. You see, this number one thing right here can change everything, because then we realize that no matter what we think, we are always 100% supported. It's just a matter of what we believe to be true and what facet are we focused on. What are we focused on? So this is important because now what we can learn to do is to let go of believing that the universe is out to get us, believing that we're not supported, and we can start to ask ourselves the question, what do I believe to be true? What is supporting me 100% in my definitions about who I am? And as you let go of those definitions you have, you'll find that everything begins to change. The second thing that you must give up in order for the universe to support you more, in order to really communicate with the universe at a stronger level, is knowing that it's not just about what the ego can figure out. Many times we think that the ego has to do everything. If there's something we want to manifest in our life or create, the ego has to go in there, put the world on its back, and do everything. Now, this causes a lot of resistance, and this, in a way, is so much more powerful when you surrender and realize that you can expand your awareness out of the ego and into a higher version and into a more of trust in your life. So this is about understanding that the burden is not just on you. Your ego's job is to figure out what the ego wants and to align its actions, its thoughts, and its feelings with that. But the other side of the coin is to simply trust in the process. I do this a lot when what I realize is that I'm trying to control things too much. I surrender, I trust in the things that are happening in my life. I trust in the synchronicities, and as I trust, I find I get a reflection of that trust I'm putting into it. So I encourage you to start to trust in your life more. Realize there's two perspectives. There's the ego's perspective, and then there's what we could call our higher self's perspective. What we're doing in this process is we're letting go of all the energy being with the ego, all of the burden being on the ego, and we're dispersing it and making it so that it's much more balanced. This is about trusting the process. This is about trusting what we could quote unquote call our higher self. And as we do that, we allow things to happen in a much more smooth way. You can do this by observing the ego's thoughts, of realizing that we are not our thoughts. And as we do that, we can then put it to a more neutral point of view, and we can then decide where we want to put our trust. And as we do that, we will feel better. Third thing that we must give up in order to effectively communicate with the universe has to do with giving up reacting to our environment. I would say that one of the most powerful things that we can do to really get results with the law of attraction is to simply set intentions. Are we setting intentions for our day? Do we have outcomes of things that we want to accomplish? When we do this, we shift our focus, and we also shift our perspective. We shift our perspective from being reactive to the environment, from being at the effect, rather than being at the cause. We want to be at the cause. We want to know that when we are putting the intention out there, we can then see a direct result or some type of response from that. So this is about more so responding than reacting, and one of the most powerful ways to do that is to simply observe our thoughts from a neutral point of view, because when we do that, we take the power away from reacting and we allow it to then have the power to where we can choose where we put our focus. So set the intentions and know that as you do that, you aren't a victim of circumstance, you aren't just absorbing your environment, you're actually setting the intention. Now the fourth thing that we can let go of in order to more effectively communicate with the universe is believing that this is only done at conscious levels. Now what this means is that what we can do is we can set intentions to learn things when we go into dream states. Now this is something that I do. When I go to bed every night, I have intentions for certain things I want to learn, for certain messages maybe I want to remember when I wake up in the morning, and think of your dreams as a communication with your subconscious mind. So believing that it's only about the conscious mind is just a small sliver of it, because most of our life is actually ran by our subconscious mind. So what we can learn to do is before we go to bed to set intentions for us to, first off, remember our dreams, and then to secondly, to remember any messages that we can receive from the universe, from our higher self, and then as we go into our sleep for the day, when we wake up in the morning, we will remember what those messages are. Also set the intentions to remember your dreams and to remember the messages. That's what I've done. That's why I think I'm really able to communicate at a deep level with my subconscious mind, because I'm able to tap into not just the conscious side of things, but also the subconscious side of things, which runs a majority of our life. So knowing that it's also about that helps us have a more holistic view of it and to really tap into things that priorly we weren't aware of. Now the fifth and final thing that we must let go of in order to really effectively communicate with the universe has to do with letting go of any expectation to how things will happen. Now what this means is that what you can do is you can put certain intentions out there, put things that you want to know out there, and we don't have to have this expectation that it's something we hear in our mind or something that we get in any specific way. What if it could be a synchronicity that brings the awareness to you or brings you the answer? What if it could be some type of pattern that you're looking for that then you end up finding because you set that intention? Now, what this means is that when we loosen up our definition for our expectation to how we learn, how we are communicating with the universe, then there's different ways that that can come in. Now what I've done is realize that it doesn't have to be some visualization technique. It can simply be that I put it out there that I want to learn more about maybe a certain direction that I want to go in life, and maybe I go throughout my day and I find that then there's a book that really stands out to me. I go to the bookstore and there's certain books that stand out to me. Maybe I go and then a friend starts talking to me about something specific. You see, we can start to trust it in the form of synchronicity rather than thinking that it specifically has to be some type of like metaphysical experience or some type of vision or like auditory thing that we hear in our head. This makes it so much more relatable too, because we're allowing different ways for it to come into our life rather than limiting it to just something that we learn in like meditation or something. So the idea is that the most powerful thing you can do to really let go of any resistance or to let go of, so that we can really communicate with the universe at a stronger level, is understanding that we must first off see the universe as working for us. We are always getting a 100% reflection of what we believe to be true, and when we start to come at it from that point of view, we will see that then we can redefine what we believe to be true. We can refocus where our attention is going, where our intention is going, and as we do that, things profoundly change. Remember that your ego doesn't have to control everything. When you expand your scope and perception beyond the ego, you then have more power, more ability to trust in the universe, to put the trust in what is called quote-unquote your higher self, and from that point of view, things will really start to change. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification here so that you're able to see the daily videos that I do. And also, I put a free PDF inside the description box on the top 3 LOA techniques that have changed my life. Feel free to download that as well. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.